Well, good morning, our beloveds. Our another is finally rested and restored as she has finished 3 big tasks that were ahead of her, which are now behind her. It is amazing how the pressure of deadlines changes things, changes how you interact with and participate in the world. When you are pressured to meet particular deadlines, it changes your flow, it changes your chi, it changes your perspective on life. It either empowers you or angers you or frustrates you or depletes you or makes you feel one way or the other, because each of you are snowflakes. Some are inspired by deadlines because it pushes you to complete something that you otherwise wouldn't. And for others of you who begin much earlier, it stresses you out because it forces you to produce something on a particular day when you would prefer to allow it to naturally flow. And for some others, it just simply is a course or a matter of business. Why are we sharing this today? Because we shall use this as a learning opportunity for the masses, or sometimes the asses, as we like to call some of you, from a loving perspective. Many of you still really misconstrue what the energetic world is. You see us as these holy ones who are always on a high horse, a pedestal, or someone who simply shames you or makes you feel lesser than, because if you don't do it our way, we're going to damn you to hell for eternity. But we're really just energy. We're energy like you. We have a higher vibration because there are certain tones and experiences that we just do not connect with up here. But our creativity, our positivity, our inspirational beliefs in creating new and better things are not limited by being on the other side. It is quite the opposite. You all are still limited in what you can believe and do because, for the most part, the secrets of the sauce have been hidden from you. If you knew how to create Coca-Cola or Pepsi, would you do it if you had that secret sauce? You probably wouldn't, because you don't really care enough. It's easier just to go to the store and buy it. But there are a few of you who would, and then you would compete with Coca-Cola or Pepsi. And why is that? Because there's profit to be made, and many of you are profit-driven. Now, here on the other side of the veil, it is not about money. It is not about power. It is not about prestige or reputation or anything like that. Over here, we get to explore humanity, so to speak. We can expand and grow in any areas that we desire. But on this side, the vibration is expansionary. Now, are there darker energies over here? You bet. There are. It's not all unicorns and lollipops. But when you look at who you choose to connect with, you can choose to connect with those who are love and light. And what is love and light? For many of you, it's Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, right? The great masters. For others of you, it is a past person who really changed the world for the better, Mahatma Gandhi, Margaret Thatcher. It doesn't matter. When we here on the other side teach you and help you and guide you from this energetic imprint, our goal is for you to have the fullest experience that you can have, not the least painful or most successful experience. We are just here to remind you that you are spiritual beings having a human incarnation and that you are here for a particular purpose. And so, for example, Jesus will teach you to be love, but also not to be a patsy. And if you really connect to Jesus over here, instead of through the Bible, you may find different imprints. And this is what it is to be a mystic. A religious person just reads the religious texts and limits themselves to that interpretation. But for those who are mystics, you dive in deeply into the unknown, the unseen expression of love. And when you just go quiet and silent and dig into the unknown processes that you don't even understand because you don't understand. When you do shamanic journeying, for example, with the drumming, and set an intention to meet Jesus and to be guided by Jesus. When you meet Jesus in heaven during this type of a journey, it is much more real and personal, and is why the prophets of the old were able to connect, because they knew these things, because they were taught these things. And here you are now, where you are told that it is sinful behavior, that it is Satan who is communicating with you. But who do you think wrote the Bible back in its original form? Who do you think guides the pastors who really truly do connect to the divine energy of Jesus instead of the hateful rhetoric which is designed to conquer and divide? Why you came here matters only to you and not to your neighbor. Don't follow your neighbor's path, and don't force your neighbor to follow your path. Be uniquely you. Figure out who you wish to connect to, right? And yes, there are people who do wish to connect to the darker energies, and maybe that is their purpose, their journey, their experience. And telling them that they're going to be eternally damned to hell is not helpful, because maybe one of the reasons why they're choosing the Antichrist as their savior is because you have been so hateful and have shown them what the love of Jesus is not, that they have chosen to go to the dark side because they trust that more than you. Maybe you could just be loving and kind and unconditional in your words and allow them to figure things out. And if you are just a true loving experience of what it is to be a human being, maybe they will change their mind, not because you tell them that there's something wrong with them, but because you just are a kind, loving human being, and they will seek you out when they're struggling. Finding you is no different than Finding Joe in that documentary. It is simply about self-exploration, and your journey to find your true essence is all you are here to do, and nobody else. That's you, that's your journey. And you get to choose which energy you wish to connect to, or if you wish to connect to nothing. But when you connect to nothing, you don't allow us to come in and explore this journey, thereby creating different opportunities. You are then just limited to fate, if you will, versus destiny. Destiny is where you grab our hands and walk with us on this journey as we co-create your experience, whereas when you exclude the divine, you allow the nature of life, of avalanches and things, to create your journey, because you are not willing to participate in creating anything different than what you think life has to offer. It's very difficult, but you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And once you have connected with the divine in some particular fashion, you can never unsee what you have seen, and you will know that it's true and real. But some of you have chosen a path of darkness as others would perceive it, and that is your unique journey. Hitler came to fulfill his role. It just was. And there's nothing that anybody could have really done to choose a different path for him. It was for him to choose to become light if he wanted to, but he didn't. He chose darkness. And that is the nature of the expansionary experience here on Mother Earth. Humanity has chosen to grow in ways to develop the most insightful ways of harming people, of hurting people, of deceiving people, of destroying people. Your atomic bomb is a perfect example of energy gone wrong in that it could be used for good and only good, but you have chosen to use it for bad and only bad. And therein lies the contrast. Your experience may be different than somebody else's. They may not want to save the world. They may not want to make the world a better place. And there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop them if that is their life's purpose. It matters not what you think, believe, feel, see, experience, or desire. Your experience is for you. And you can create a bigger collective experience. Because when more people come together to shift the vibration of love into the power position, then the other things can't come into play. But you individually cannot save the world unless you are the last domino that falls, that topples it over, if that makes sense. You're not here to save the world. You're simply here to save yourself and to experience what that bliss feels like, even if it's in the midst of you being in a place where Rome is burning. You cannot change what you cannot change, but you can change how you choose to perceive it and experience it. It is your journey that we are focused on, not the collective. Finding you, finding Nemo, where's Waldo? Just find yourself and experience yourself in your truest essence. And for those of you who are here to experience lovelessness, which is quite a number of you, just share that burden and that suffering with others, because many of you are really nailing it. You're finding what it is to feel all alone in a world where you're surrounded by 7 to 8 billion others. It's your experience to figure out how to step outside of that journey and to embrace love in a different way. But finding you is the most important piece within that process, because before you find yourself, you cannot find love in the world. And finding yourself means loving all aspects of yourself with no judgment, no excuse, and no explanation. It is just simply who you have been up to this point, and learning to love yourself and acknowledging I have harmed others greatly is a good starting point. You know who you are, who have hidden your heads in the sand for too long. You too can choose a different outcome by refusing fate and embracing destiny. Your journey matters not for the world. Your journey matters for you, because you can explore new opportunities if you just let go of the reins and accept that you have done really bad things in the name of justice. Find it, believe it, experience it, and then release it and find your new path within your God-given desires. Finding yourself need not hurt anymore. It belittles you. It harms you. It hurts you. And it sours you. And for those of you who believe in what we are saying, just find a little compassion for yourself today and remind yourself that you too are a creation of God and that you too can save yourself like any of the other creatures on this planet. And therein lies the solution, finding yourself in your navel. Believe, belittle no more, and belong. And so it is. Namaste.